Dababy. Dababy, controversial guy. He catches the opinions of some people. He's done some things that we sort of think, okay, it's a little bit edgy, but okay. You're a rapper, we expect it. But recently, I believe it was last night for me. He was at one of his concerts and he said something, between songs. He said something a little bit interesting. So, it's between songs, he's talking to the audience a bit, as we see lots of times, with rappers. They're like, okay, let's have a moment. Let me say some things to you. He said, if you didn't show up today with HIV or AIDS, put your cell phone light up. Ladies, if your pussy smell like water, put your cell phone lights up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking dick, put your cell phone lights up. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? And how does it get linked to the LGBT community and gay guys in particular? Because that's the road it's gone down. That is the route it's gone down. It's offended them, okay? This is who's been offended. And this is, it's not just them getting mad about it, of course. It's other people coming out and saying, Dababy, you're homophobe. Why have you said these things? Now, of course, where they're getting this whole thing that it's offensive to, the LGBT community is based on the fact that he said if you don't have HIV or AIDS, put your cell phone light up. And then he also said if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone light up. So they're putting, two and two together and saying, all right, Dababy's saying if you suck dick, you're gay. And then, if you're gay, that means you also have HIV and AIDS. I mean, the pussy smell like water thing, I don't know what the fuck that means, I'll be honest with you. But that's not what they're focusing on. Now, the person who has, who's called Dababy out, that's, taking notice, taking the spotlight a bit here, is the righteous Lipa. She has said, I'm surprised and horrified at Dababy's comments. I really don't recognize this as a person I worked with. I know my fans know where my heart lies, and that I stand 100% with the LGBTQ community. We need to come together to fight the stigma and ignorance around HIV and AIDS. Now, of course, there's always been a bit of ignorance about AIDS, how it's only gay people that have AIDS. That's something that started back in the day when it kind of first came around, because obviously that was like a theme. But of course, it's an incorrect stigma. Dababy also said that, it will kill you in 2 or 3 weeks, which isn't the case. You have HIV or AIDS and you can live for a long time based on the medication. Once you get AIDS, you can't get rid of it, but you can live with it. Of course, you can still transmit it, but you can live with it. Charities are saying that it's spreading misinformation about HIV. I think people are well educated on HIV. I think people understand what it is. I think they understand that you can live with it. They know it's a sexually transmitted disease, but I think people at this day and age are aware that it's not just something that, homosexuals get. It's something that anyone can get from anybody. Now, Dababy defended himself. He came out saying, listen, what I do at a live audience is for people at the live show. It will never translate correctly to someone looking at a little 5 or 6 second clip from their goddamn crib on their phone. And he continued to tell people that weren't at the show to shut the fuck up. I think it's funny. I like his response there. It's funny. He's just like, listen, fuck y'all. Why are you making a story about this? I kind of understand. I don't really think it's a big deal. I think it's only been blown out of proportion because Dua Lipa's come out and, everyone sees her as like this saint. I'm not saying that she isn't, but, she's like someone that a lot of people look up to and stuff, and she's sort of like the poster girl for the music industry at the moment. I think that's why it's turned into Dababy getting lots of hate and Dua Lipa getting all the praise. But, Dababy's not a homophobe. He said, he's glad gay people are in his crowd, but, he said that gay people in his crowd didn't have HIV or AIDS because they're Dababy fans. I don't know, he's on stage, he's just vibing, he's probably got some sort of intoxicant in him, and he's just saying stuff. He's just sort of speaking his mind, and the crowd just sort of go with it because you're at a concert. You don't really care what they're saying. You're just like, yeah, he's speaking. Let's praise it. Now we've got Dababy on Twitter here. There's a couple of tweets came out 2 days ago. It was I tell fans to put a cell phone light in the air and y'all start a Million Man March. I told you y'all digested that wrong, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm impressed. Now show this same amount of support when a racist cop killed one of our black ass. You're not. He's got a point here. He really does. It wasn't a directly homophobic comment. It wasn't a direct, insult to the LGBTQ community. It was just something he said that, could be taken a certain way. And it's getting all the publicity, and what's happening is people want to get him cancelled. Why? because it's against the LGBT community. Supposedly, it's something that, is something they're gonna find offensive. He followed up by saying, anyone who's ever been affected by AIDS or HIV, y'all got the right to be upset. What I said was insensitive, even though I have no intentions on offending anybody. So my apologies. But the LGBT community, I ain't tripping on y'all. Do you? Y'all business is y'all business. I love this tweet. I think it's brilliant. He apologizes for what he said about HIV and AIDS. He says, listen, man, I'm sorry. Okay, it was insensitive. He didn't mean offense, but he apologized for it because he knows it's probably not the best thing to be saying at his concert, so he's understood that. But I like this next bit. But the LGBT community, I ain't tripping on y'all, do you? Y'all business is y'all business. See, they're trying to make it about them, okay? This is what this is. And he's saying, listen, no, fuck that. It's not to do... He hasn't said anything about the LGBT community. He said stuff about AIDS and HIV. He's saying people that have AIDS or HIV, if you're offended, I'm sorry. He's not apologising to the LGBT community because he hasn't offended the LGBT community. They're just choosing to be offended because they've linked it, his comments, to it being a homophobic thing, when in reality it wasn't. And for any brands, networks, or artists that like to profit off of black rappers' influence on the culture without understanding it or having the patience to deal with what comes with the position we play in our culture, keep your money next time. Us, N-words, human too. Hashtag God bless. Now that's in relation to Boohoo Man dropping him. He's got a point there as well. Boohoo Man were like, yeah, Dababy's popular. Come rep our stuff. As soon as he does it and they don't like what he says, he's like, oh, damn, we got to get rid of him because he's a homophobe. And, Boohoo Man had their own fucking tweet. Let me find it. Boohoo Man, Dababy. Yeah, I have a Star Wars background, deal with it. Why the hell am I searching on Yahoo? What? Why is that my default browser when I open a fucking new tab? No. Fuck that. Yeah, they made a post somewhere. Where is it? Yes, I agree to your freaking cookies, man. I know you know where I live. Okay, here we go. Boohoo Man condemned the use of homophobic language and confirmed we will no longer be working with Dababy. There was no homophobic language there, just for the record. There was no homophobic language. Diversity and inclusion are part of the Boohoo Group's DNA, and we pride ourselves on representing the diverse customers we serve across the globe. We stand by and support the LGBTQ+ community and do not tolerate hate speech or discrimination in any form. This is what I mean. This is my problem with all this bullshit of the modern day. I could rant about it for hours, but we're at a stage now where, a rapper can't come out and say something that isn't actually directly offensive to the LGBTQ community. He's just said something about HIV and AIDS. There's a possible link between what he said. He may not have even meant the whole dick sucking thing as a dig or as a link between gay people and AIDS. I think he was just, it's like an insult to say you suck dick. It's what fucking people say. I'm not even sure it was a homophobic comment. He's literally saying any y'all suck dick. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't. Obviously it links to being gay because he said any guy sucking dick. But at the end of the day, this isn't a homophobic comment. I don't see what he said as a direct offense to the LGBT community. I'm glad to see some people online saying this is bullshit. We stand with Dababy. I personally do. Okay, I think this has all just been blown way out of proportion. It's being offended for the sake of being offended. It's trying to cancel someone because you're so righteous. Lipa calling him out didn't help me. She did a song with him. She could have at least been like, yo. But as I said, she's like the poster girl right now. She's done a song with someone who's potentially being offensive to the LGBT community, so she has to come out and be like, yo, no, I don't stand with that. Fuck that. I love the LGBTQ. She's got to say that, right? Because otherwise she harms her position, white silence is violence and all that. I mean, obviously that's more to do with, BLM and shit, but her not speaking out would have made her look bad. You would have got people like, why aren't you speaking out to Dababy, man? Why? So there we go. That's the whole drama with Dababy, with Lipa calling him out, with this homophobic bullshit. It's not homophobic. I really don't think it is. That's not me being ignorant. It isn't homophobic. They've they've put 2 and 2 together and made 5. They've jumped a few steps to get it from him talking about HIV and AIDS to him being a homophobe and insulting the LGBTQ community. The fact that Boohoo Man came out and said, we stand with the LGBT community. I can't even say it, man. It's so fucking confusing. That many letters. We don't stand with them. We're cancelling our fucking membership with Dababy. Like, what? What the fuck? It's stupid. It's just ridiculous. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with what they're doing. I don't agree with how they handled it. But am I surprised? Not in the slightest, because this is where we're at now with society, with how it goes. If it doesn't fit the narrative, if it doesn't fit the nice niche, thing of making everyone, feel special, making sure we don't offend anyone, making sure we say all the right things all the time, then boom, there you have it. There you have it. I'm supporting Dababy on this. He's a questionable guy, don't get me wrong. I've seen some other videos of him, like him being a dick on an airplane and just stuff like this to like an air hostess. He's probably not the nicest dude, but this is bullshit. Don't think you should cancel a man for this. He's made his own success at the end of the day, and I can't even hate on him for that, because everyone's out to get you. Everyone's out to get you when you're successful. Everyone's trying to cancel you. That's why it's so hard to get going these days. You don't want to be found out too early, otherwise you're fucked. And at least for him, he came up. He started in 2014. He made his way up. Sort of became prominent a couple of years ago. And cancel culture, it was still a thing then, but it wasn't as bad, I don't think, as it is now. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad. But I think he's in a position now. He's in a high enough point where he can't get cancelled. He'd have to do something really fucked up. This will do nothing. He's still got more shows that he's doing after this one that he did a couple of nights ago, so he's good to go. But either way, that's Newsington. Don't even introduce it as Newsington, I don't think, but Newsington, we're back. This was something I wanted to talk about. It's been a while. There haven't been too many topics where I'm like, is it worth talking about? This is worth talking about. There you have it. Thank you all very much for watching. I'd like to know your opinions on it, please. If you've watched this video, if you've made it this far, I want to know what you think about it. Please, just let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Just give me your opinion. I don't mind if you think something different. I'm genuinely curious. I want to know what people think on this matter. Do you think he said anything offensive? Are you with him? Do you think Lipa should have called him out? What do you think about this whole Boohoo Man bullshit? Yeah, let me know. By the way, Boohoo Man, your quality fucking sucks. I'm just putting it out there. One wash. Threads coming off. Alright? Make better shit. But yeah, that's that. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.